25th of June, number of the day is a number we haven't said for a very, very long time. It is 72, Francis heard, because we're talking about just over $72 per barrel of oil.
Can you believe it? Because we're now at the levels we were last at before the war.
Which was when...
So what happened?
Yeah.
Obviously, a lot did happen, but it's just incredible how the oil price that went all the way up to $126 throughout the war. There wasn't always fighting, but it seemed to be hovering at 100, 110, and now we're back to around 72. So on the 27th of February this year, which was one day before the US and Israel attacked Iran, the price of oil was $72.48. And today it went below that. It went closer to $72. It's now around $72.88. So it's hovering around there. It's amazing.
Which is obviously very good news, but people are going to ask the question, the obvious one, why? Is it just because of the negotiations, which we know between the US and Iran are ongoing? Is this a sentiment thing, or are the markets seeing something more sturdy in place where they go, okay, we can now move in the right direction?
So the oil is flowing through the Strait of Hormuz. So that is good news. Remember, the war effectively closed the Strait of Hormuz. 20 to 30% of oil on the global market travels through that waterway. So the oil is flowing. So that's a good sign. Some of this is speculation. People bet on where the price is going. And oil is bought it's a future price because you can't buy oil today because it's still got to get you in the barrel, etc. But there is some speculation. Some would say that this is oversold because remember, we have been discussing along the way that the oil market won't just return to normal. There's still a potential for shortages. There's still a whole lot of infrastructure that has been destroyed in the Middle East. So some believe that this oil price will tick up again. To me, it's just it's surreal. It's a little bit surreal given all the warnings we had about this being the worst supply shock the world has ever seen. We didn't get to that doomsday, well, we haven't yet, where there's mass shortages of fuel around the world. We didn't get there. Now the oil price is back.
Because I remember, I know you did a bunch of interviews on this, and certainly on the news side, on all angles, I certainly did, where the initial shock was because of the conflict. But then that long tail, which some experts were worried about, obviously from the business side, but also from experts we spoke to when it came to supply and demand, other market indicators, the price of food, that if you hit the shortage of oil, that's going to push the price up.
Yes.
But we didn't even get to that. It's sort of, we've gone full circle almost.
We've almost gone full circle. Look, there are signs, and our Reserve Bank has said this, and economists have said, of that second round inflation, because South Africa imports oil for fuel. So that is first round inflation. We all feel it when we have to pay more for transport. The second round would be food, and then across the economy, they were looking for signs that prices were going up. And there are some signs of that. The Reserve Bank was sort of sitting on the fence saying, should we wait for too much of that before we move? And remember, they raised interest rates. There has, by the way, been speculation that the US Fed will still raise interest rates, although inflation data has come out today and it's looking okay. So suddenly the dollar's sort of back in line. So it could still happen. Like I say, this feels surreal given the warnings. Before the war, there was too much supply of oil. There was a glut. There was enough oil to go around. There were, however, predictions that if the war lasted for a month or longer, for this year, there would be shortages, but I don't see them.
We don't see them. I know we're going to talk gold in a bit because that number's not looking so good, but you can tell me why in a moment. Just for the fuel price adjustment, which is the first Wednesday of every month, so we're looking forward to that in July. Is this lower oil price too late to impact what's going to happen at the pumps 2 week? It feels too late for me.
Yeah, it's a little bit too late because they cut it off a few days before. But remember, the oil price has been relatively low. Basically, for this month, the rand has been looking okay. So we are looking at the last figures we had from about a day ago. R2.90 to R3, the drop for petrol.
Nice.
4 to 5 rand, the drop for diesel. So
we
it's
win
not
again.
too bad.
Okay,
Yeah,
we'll
it's
take
not
it.
too bad. It's not too bad.
So what's happening with gold? Because now it's the complete opposite, isn't it?
So gold has been an interesting one because we as South Africa benefit when the oil price is down. However, the gold price has also been down for other reasons, especially over the last few weeks, and that is not great. We've seen our miners being pummeled on the JSE, and we have such different drivers, so that's why the JSE is sometimes different to American markets. America driven a lot by the tech stocks, so when those are being sold off or bought, it goes up or down. We have been guided, the JSE has been going up or down based on the miners, the platinum miners and the gold miners. Now, the dollar has been very strong. It hit a one-year high earlier today. It's come down a little bit. But because the dollar is strong, gold is priced in dollars. So if you've got any other currency, suddenly that gold price in dollars becomes more expensive, which then starts pushing the price down because there are less buyers. That affects our miners and that affects the JSE. And we saw the price of gold go below $4,000 an ounce. So let me just put that in perspective. Year to date, down 7%. In a month, it's down almost, in 3 months, the gold price down almost 12%.
Ouch.
So that has been very painful for the miners that were sort of flying on the back of better gold prices. Compared to 5 years ago or 3 years ago, it's still up more than 100%. So that's the good news. The gold miners are better off than they were 3 years ago or 5 years ago. But this is why we see the JSE often going down when the US markets are going up. And that's also significant. Gold falling below $4,000.
Okay, so we'll watch that closely, but let's land this plane. The good news, of course, is the oil price, which right now we will take.
Yeah, what war? The oil price basically hitting and going below pre-war levels today, which were around $72. Incredible.